start in our comfortable seated position as usual. That can mean a lot of different things. So take your time and find the one that works for you this evening. So legs can be crossed, legs can be out long. You can be seated on something if you like a little bit of extra support underneath your hips. As always, if you use any props during class, you're always welcome to incorporate those as we go. And let's just start off today, first and foremost, with a welcome. Happy Wednesday. I hope you guys enjoyed the first half of your week. The snow outside of my house has already melted, so there that comes and goes comes just as quickly as it goes. And we'll start with our scan of the body. So as usual, without any judgment, this is just a scan to notice how you're feeling this evening as we get going. For those places of tension, to notice those so we can have that little bit of extra knowledge, give them that little bit of extra leeway. And for those places that feel particularly good, so that we can maybe push them up a half notch during class today. So starting from the top of the head and moving all the way down to the tips of your toes, and just noticing those places that your stress builds up a little bit. Maybe you can send an exhale to release and relax. Maybe those spaces that you haven't moved in any kind of range of motion today, maybe giving them a couple of circles or maybe moving the fingers and toes a little bit. As you take that scan, I also invite you to take any initial range of motion that may feel good for you this evening. So if your tension you find is through the shoulders, maybe it's a couple rolls of the shoulders, maybe it's a nice big lateral stretch if that tension is through the core, or a spinal twist if it's through the spine. Maybe your legs are a little bit sore from another workout this week, so you take them long and fold it forward. We're going to take about 4 more nice deep breaths in any of those ranges of motion, or maybe you just stay right in center to get started. Just beginning our class in the way that is best for you this evening. Good. Finish out with 2 more nice deep breaths, and then let's bring it on back to center. Nice long spine when you get back to center, back to that comfortable seated position. Release the shoulders nice and low away from the ears. We're going to start off from the top with a roll of the head and the neck. So give me that inhale to that nice long spine. With your next exhale, dropping that chin to the chest, and then just a few times back and forth, right ear towards that right shoulder. Maybe you take it up a little bit higher, maybe you keep it a little lower, and then down through center, left ear to that left shoulder. Nice, easy back and forth, opening up through the traps, opening up through the back of the neck. Maybe finding this stretch in a couple of different places as you move the head through center and side to side. Let's go ahead and do one more time in each direction. And then after that second direction, go ahead and allow that chin to come back to the chest at center, and then bring that head back up nice and tall. Take your time finishing out that last one, but then we're going to go right into some shoulder rolls. So just choosing a direction, nice big circles when you get back to centered. We've got in our flow a little bit of work through down dog. We're going to do some work in chaturanga and upward facing dog today. Go ahead and change that direction, those circles other way. So getting those shoulders warmed up is important, getting them ready to support us as we get moving. Give me 2 more rolls in this second direction. And then when you finish that second one, go ahead and release them nice and low away from the ears. We'll go into our lateral stretch next. Big inhale, takes those arms out and up towards the ceiling, stretch long away from center. Right hand comes down towards that mat, left arm comes up over top. Nice big stretch through that left side of the body. And then let's find that big inhale to bring it back through center, nice long spine. And then exhale to that second side. Now I invite you to take this at your own pace. If you need a little bit extra of a pause in one direction or the other, that's fabulous. If you prefer to get it moving a little bit here and move a little faster in each direction, feel free to do that as well. So taking this, like I said, at your own pace, a few times back. Finding your breath and starting to connect your movement, your range of motion to your breathing with that long spine, with your inhale, that exhale for that release and relaxation. Let's find one more time in each direction. Feel free to hit that third change of those directions if you need to hit that second side one final time. After that, we're going into our spinal twist. So after your second direction, give me that big inhale for those arms out and up towards the ceiling. Now, if you like to have your arms up high for your spinal twist, keep them there. If not, you're welcome to circle them down and around. Then let's take it to that first side, opening those shoulders towards that side wall. Front arm comes to the outside of that opposite knee. Back arm goes around behind the back. And then same as that lateral stretch, let's take it side to side, nice and easy at your own pace. Arms can stay low as you come through center or come up high as you come through center, whichever is more comfortable for you here. Just getting that spine nice and warmed up this evening, ready to get moving. Excellent. Same as that other, that lateral stretch. If you like to move a little faster or slower here, it's all good. Taking it at your own pace. And let's find one more time in each direction. Again, feel free to find that third change of direction, making sure that you even out and hit that second side one final time. After your last spinal twist, just bringing that inhale back to center. And if you bring those arms up, circling them down and around. And if you don't, just releasing those shoulders nice and low away from the ears. Alrighty, fabulous. So bringing it back to center, bringing it back to that comfortable seated. I want to invite you to grab a sip of your beverage if you have one nearby. And then we're going to kind of get right into it. We're going to start with core this evening to get us warmed up, and then we'll move into our flow to kind of finish us out. So after you grab your sip of your beverage, or maybe kind of shake out something if you were feeling a little weird in that seated position, and then we're going to bring it around to sideways, and we're going to roll it down onto our back. So just with a little bit of core front to get us going. Whew. Alrighty. So taking your time, bringing it on down. When you get down to your back, we'll start off here with just a spinal twist in each direction. So bending the knees, planting the feet, both knees come down to one side. We open those arms into a nice T and look over that opposite shoulder. And then bring it through center, find that same thing other side. Knees come down in that opposite direction. We look opposite direction of our knees. And go ahead and bring those knees back to center. We're going to do one more time each direction, but an option to take it up a notch. So you can keep it right here and set those knees down, or you can lengthen that outside or that inside leg on the floor. Other leg goes up towards the ceiling, and then that leg comes across the body, just to intensify that spinal twist a little bit. If that doesn't feel right, knee can always be bent. And then we're still looking over that opposite shoulder. And all we're going to do here is change directions. So again, if those knees are bent, just bring them through center over that other direction. If they're long, taking the opposite one up towards the ceiling and letting it fall over to the side. If you don't have enough space, that knee can obviously be bent. If you can't, don't put it through a wall or a piece of furniture. Excellent. Let's bring it back to center. Pull those knees into the chest, rock it either side to side or in little circles. Nice little massage of the lower back. Excellent. Let's go right into that core. Let's take those knees up to our tabletop, fingertips behind the ears. Let's start off with a little upper core warm up with just our crunches right up the center. Head and shoulders come up off that mat and then back down. Starting to find your breath, starting to get it moving, taking each of these crunches at your own pace, but trying to push how far up off the mat you can get with those knees up towards the chest. We're in that tabletop. Keeping it moving right here. Working on crunching through the upper core, but not bringing that chin in any closer towards the chest. As you crunch up off of the mat, we're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knees, plant the feet. Let's get those obliques warmed up with some penguins. Point those fingertips towards the heels. Lift the head and shoulders up off that mat. We're moving in one plane, side to side. So right fingertips come towards your right heel. We move through center, and then left fingertips towards the left heel. Waddling side to side like a penguin and getting it moving. And as always, if your fingertips don't quite reach your heel, mine aren't today, that's okay. We're just working those obliques, the muscles in the side of the core. And again, trying to keep the chin about a tennis ball size space away from the chest so we're not straining the neck. We're here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the spine back to center. Lay the head and shoulders back down onto the mat. Let's do one more oblique focused exercise. Let's hit our bicycle or our Pilates crisscross. Take those knees up to that 90 degrees. Now, as we do this, I want you to really focus on it being slow and controlled. and that long leg going as long and low as you can get it to go. So fingertips behind the ears. One leg goes long and almost to the floor, opposite elbow to that bent knee. Alternating sides, nice and controlled, working on that length through the leg and lifting that opposite shoulder up off of the mat. Keeping it moving here, side to side. Don't forget to breathe. Lots of core all in a row. Awesome work, you guys. We'll get a little break for that core front after this. Stay with me here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, briefly pull those knees in towards the chest. Take a moment. Fabulous work. Bend the knees, plant the feet. Little break for our core front. Let's find our glute bridge. Press those hips up towards the ceiling. Plant those palms on either side of where the hips just were. Back of the head is down on the mat. Bottoms of the feet are planted on the mat. Let's think about that activation pattern. If you were here on Monday, same exact thing. Thinking about finding tension through the muscles all the way from the toes up to the top of the head. So pressing those hips up by squeezing the glutes. Pulling the belly button in towards the spine by tensing the core, not just inhaling. Pressing those palms down into the mat. Pressing the back of the head down into the mat. Hold here with me for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, lower down. We're gonna do that one more time with the option to take it up a notch. So let's go ahead and lift those hips back up. We're back in that glute bridge. Now you can stay right here and just find that activation pattern if that's what's best for you this evening. Or to take it up a notch, we're still gonna activate from the toes up to the head, but then we can march those knees in. So keeping the knee bent, marching it up, keeping those hips even, and then down and switching sides. So keeping those glutes tense, keeping that core tense to keep those hips high. Don't let them rock side to side. As always, if you'd prefer to keep both of those feet planted firmly on the floor, that is totally fine. Excellent. Stay with me here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, lower those hips down. Pull those knees into the chest. Awesome. Let's take it back to that core front. So from here, we're going to take those legs long and we're going to pull the arms. God, words are so hard today, you guys. It's Wednesday. We're going to find our double leg stretch. Start with those knees pulled into the chest. As we inhale, we're going to extend long in both directions. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. And as we exhale, we'll pull it around to center to meet those knees. The lower and longer you can get those legs, the more challenging this is going to be. So if you need a little less tension on that lower back, just aim those feet a little bit closer towards the ceiling as you extend them out nice and long. We're moving in this range of motion. We're challenging ourselves, but that lower back should be nice and strong and stable, not moving around as we extend those feet out long. We're here for another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent work. We're going to bend the knees and plant the feet up next. We'll give that lower core a little bit of a break. We're going to find our upper core and our obliques again. We've got a 3 or 4 way crunch, depending on how you look at it. Fingertips start behind the head, knees are bent, feet are planted. We're going to take that right hand to the outside of that left knee. We'll come back down and do a crunch up center, and then we'll take that left hand to the outside of that right knee, or the opposite if that's the one that I just said. Bring it back down, one crunch through center every time we move side to side. So right hand, center, left hand, center. Keep it moving just like that. So back and forth with that crunch up the center, trying to work on that same concept as we did for that bicycle crunch, where we're focusing on lifting the shoulder off of the mat and not just extending the arm out long. We're here for about another 10 seconds. Stick with me, you guys got this. We're almost through our core segment. This will be it for our core front today. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release, relax. Just a few more movements here. We're almost there. All right. So let's take that right foot, point it up towards the ceiling. Left foot is going to come out long, floating anywhere from 3 inches to 3 feet up off the floor. We've got our straight leg stretch. Double pulse, scissor to switch. So grab that thigh or that calf. We've got a 1, 2, and then switch those legs. Back and forth, here we go. 1, 2, scissor to switch. Kind of moving this at your own pace. So if you feel a little bit more comfortable with this movement, If you're moving a little faster, if you're feeling a little unflexible this evening as I am, just maybe take it a little slower, bend that knee a little bit more. That's totally fine. Keeping it working. If you want that extra challenge, the head and shoulders stay up off of this mat for the whole range of motion. If you don't want that, then bring them down in between. We're here for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work, you guys. Take that recovery pose. Maybe the knees come in towards the chest. Maybe let the feet fall to the mat. Fabulous. We've only got one more movement left before we take our break and switch it up to our flow. So stick with me. Final range of motion here. We've got a whole bunch of options. We're going to do a double leg lower lift. Our double leg lower lift. First option, knees bent. We're just bringing those heels down towards the mat and back up. Second option, legs are long, feet up towards the ceiling, bringing the feet down towards the mat and back up. Option number 3, taking this up a notch. We've got a hip lift at the top, so it's still a straight leg lower lift. At the top, we're doing just a little up, controlled back down, and then right back into that leg lower. Any of those options is fabulous. Either way, we're doing 6 of those total. Get started whenever you're ready for those 6, and then grab a sip when you're finished. We're going to make our transition. So choose any of those 3 options. 6 reps. Don't forget to breathe. Keep that lower back nice and strong and stable. This is my 3rd rep. Keeping on going. You guys look awesome. Keep breathing. Like I said, when you finish that 6th one, take a moment, find a recovery pose. Maybe knees in towards the chest. Maybe one of those spinal twists that we did. Grab a sip of your beverage of choice. And we're going to start our flow this evening standing. So we're going to make our way up to standing to the top of our mat. Take your time. We've got a couple of moments for that transition. Whew. Maybe it's a nice big stretch when you sit it up. All right. Fabulous. 22 of you here this evening. All right. So, we've got about 3 more nice deep breaths, taking our time to make our movement our way on over to the top of our mat. I'm gonna lose the sweatshirt here. All right. So we've got a little bit of work in our chair. We've got a little work in our crescent. Got some options for transitions. As always, take the option that works best for you. If you need a little extra help, keeping the feet on the floor a little longer, something like that, feel free to take it. We're going to start from the top of our mat. So we have some space behind us to get moving and grooving. We're going to start off with 2 nice deep breaths. On the second one, we're going to find our forward fold. So first one, inhale, arms out and up. Knee to the top, nice, big stretch, long away from center. Exhale, circles them down and around. Second one, we'll find our fold on the way down. So inhale still takes us out and up. Exhale, folds us forward. Take a moment here, find that nice stretch to the back of the legs. Maybe we start with a nice generous bend in those knees. Maybe we alternate lengthening one and then the other. Getting the legs kind of ready to move and groove and warm up. And then we're going to get right into it. We're going to go into our chair pose. So with your next inhale, I want you to sweep those arms up, sink those hips back. Take a moment here. We're just going to find a little hold, activating through those legs, getting them ready to go. Fabulous. From here, we're going to take it to our crescent. So I want you to take that right foot, keep those knees bent, and slide that right foot back, toes meet the mat, back as long as you can get that leg. Lengthen that torso, take those arms up towards the ceiling. Fabulous. From here, we're going to fold it all the way forward. Those fingertips are going to meet the mat. So you can frame that foot, maybe take it to the inside if you don't have quite enough space to frame the foot. Now from here, we've got essentially 2 half mountain climbers to 3-legged dogs, but I want this transition from here to this half mountain climber to be mindful. If you can, from here, I want you to see if you can just lift that foot up and pull that knee in towards the chest. If you can't, scoot it halfway back so that it's already in position to do so. Plant your hands and then pull that foot up, keep that knee in. With that next inhale, 3-legged dog, press the left foot up and back, nice and long. And then we've got one more of those, just floating the shoulders out over the wrists. Knee comes in towards the chest. And then inhale takes us back up, 3-legged dog. Place that left foot down next to the right. We're in that downward facing dog for the first time this evening, so take a moment, pedal out those heels, feel it out. See what's feeling good here. All right, like I said, we've got a lot of work in our chaturanga this evening as well. I want these to all be super mindful, and as always, from the toes or the knees is fabulous. Let's go ahead and float those shoulders out over those wrists. I want you to take this chaturanga as slowly as you can and keep those elbows glued to your sides. So toes or knees, lower it all the way down as slow as you can, and then have that chest meet the mat. When you get there, top of the feet meet the mat, and then we're gonna press up first thing into our cobra or baby. This evening, we're going to work a little bit on that upward facing dog, which is just a little bit different than our cobra in that the thighs will come up off of the mat. However, we don't want to put a bunch of extra pressure on the lower back. So I want you to activate your core. We're almost lengthening the spine just a little bit, and then put pressure through the tops of your feet and the hands just to lift those thighs up off of the mat. And we're kind of in a float. From here, keep your core activated and send your hips up high to bring us to our down dog. Press it up, turn those toes over, downward facing dog. Fabulous. Set those knees down, sink those hips back towards the heels, child's pose. Next, inhale, we're gonna bring it up onto our knees, lengthen that spine, lengthen those hips. All right, from here, we're making our transition essentially back to our chair pose. We're gonna take it kneeling to a squat. So I want you to take one leg, let's start with that left leg, bring it forward as if we're in our lunge. Seeing if you can keep that knee bent, we're going to transfer our weight onto that left leg and bring the right up to meet it so we're in a squat. When you get there, turn it into a chair pose. Sweep the arms up, keep those hips sunk back, lengthen that spine. Nice. Next inhale stands us up tall. Exhale brings those arms down and around. Alrighty. We're back to the top. We're going to take it just a half notch faster for that second side. Give me an inhale, arms out and up. Let's fold it forward with that exhale. This takes us right into our chair. Sweep the arms up, sink the hips back. Fabulous. We're going to use this to transition into our crescent. Left foot this time slides back. Find that lengthened leg. Keep that right knee bent. Lengthen the torso. Nice. This is going to fold us forward. Hands down to the mat, which will take us to that half mountain climber. So make that adjustment of the foot if you need to, and then pull it up under so the knee is tucked in. Next, inhale, three-legged dog. Press the foot up and back. One more time, half mountain climber, shoulders over wrists, knee between elbows. Inhale up and back, three-legged dog. Set that right foot down next to the left, downward facing dog. Here comes that super mindful chaturanga, toes or knees. Float the shoulders over the wrists, keep the elbows close, lower all the way down as slow as you can. When you hit the bottom, turn those feet over, press the chest up, cobra, and then lift those thighs off, activate that core, not a lot of pressure on the lower back here. Nice, turn the toes over, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Keep that core activated all the way through. Awesome, from here, child's pose, knees come down, hips go back. Let's take it up to that kneeling position. Come up tall, nice tall hips, nice tall torso. And this time we're gonna take that right foot, we're gonna step it forward into that lunge position. This will bring us to our squat. A little pressure on that right leg, try and keep that knee bent. Step the left up to meet it. When you get there, turn it into a chair. Sweep the arms up, keep those hips sunk back. Nice long spine, fabulous work. Next inhale takes us up tall. Exhale circles the arms down and around. All right, brief 3-breath break. If you need a sip of your water, if you need a range of motion, take it. And we're getting right back into it, back to that first side. Let's use this next breath to make your way back to the top of your mat. All right, we've got one nice deep breath to take us to our forward fold. Next inhale takes those arms out and up. Exhale folds us forward. This next inhale takes us to our chair. Sink the hips back, sweep the arms up. Nice long spine. All right, we've got an option to take this transition up an extra notch. You can just slide that right foot back, or you can transition through our warrior 3, transferring our weight onto our left foot, pressing that right foot back nice and long. As soon as it's lengthened, hinge at those hips, right toes go down, torso comes up. That's not what you're looking for. Feel free to keep those toes in contact and just slide it back. Nice bend through that left knee, nice long torso. Exhale folds us forward, hands meet the mat. Half mountain climber. Pull that foot up underneath. Hold that there for just a moment. And then next inhale, three-legged dog. Press the foot up and back. One more time, half mountain climber, three-legged dog. Elbow or knee between those elbows. And then inhale, presses us up and back, three-legged dog. Place that left foot down next to the right, downward facing dog. Low flow coming at us. Here goes that chaturanga. Float those shoulders out over those wrists. Toes or knees, lower down, super mindful. Maybe you stop just a half centimeter before the floor and press right up into that upward dog. Maybe you come all the way down. Choose the option that works for you. Keep that spine nice and long. Turn it over. Press those hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Excellent work, you guys. Child's pose. Knees down, hips back. Bring it up onto those knees. Step that left foot forward. Keep that knee bent. Transfer our weight up. Take that right up to meet it. Chair pose. Nice, nice. Tricky transition there. Way to make it work, you guys. Next big inhale takes us up tall. Exhale circles the arms down and around. Let's keep it going. Second side. Inhale takes us out and up. Exhale folds us forward. Chair pose from there. Inhale, sinks the hips back, sweeps the arms up. Fabulous work, fabulous work. All right, same option here. You can slide that toe back into our crescent, or you can take it through that warrior three, pressing the bottom of the foot towards that back wall. When it reaches full length, bring those toes down, bring that torso up. Awesome job, you guys. Nice bend through that right knee. Folds us forward with our next exhale. Bring that foot up underneath, half mountain climber. Again, if you need to make that adjustment, take your time to make that adjustment, and then press that foot up and back, three-legged dog. One more time, knee between those elbows, half mountain climber, three-legged dog. Right foot goes down next to the left, downward facing dog. Here comes that low flow. Shoulders float out over wrist. Toes or knees, chaturanga, keep the elbows close. Lower it down once again. Maybe you float, maybe you bring it all the way down. Turn those feet over, press the chest up, tense through the core. Make sure that you don't have all that pressure on the lower back. And then send those hips up, keep the core tense, downward facing dog. Nice. Knees down, hips back, child's pose. Bring it up nice and tall onto those knees. Right foot comes forward into that lunge. Keep that squat. Bring the left up to meet it, chair pose. Awesome work. Next inhale stands us up tall. Exhale circles the arms down and around. One more time, quick 3-breath break. Take a drink, shake it out.
All right, go ahead and bring it on back to the top of the mat.
There we go, there's that headphone back. Awesome, all right. Let's get right back into it. Once again, we'll have one or two options just to take it up a half notch. Give me that big inhale, take those arms out and up. Exhale, folds us forward, fingertips down towards the mat. Let's take it right into that chair pose. Inhale, sweeps those arms up, sinks those hips back. Here's an option to take it up if you want a spinal twist. Palms come together, hands down to heart center. Right elbow towards that left knee. Spinal twist, right elbow towards the left knee. And then bring it back to center. Keep those hips low, still in that chair. Option for warrior three or to slide that right foot straight back, whichever you would prefer to take it back to our crescent. Right foot goes back long, toes come down, torso comes up, left leg is bent. Another spinal twist, palms together, heart center. Right elbow towards that left knee once again. Same exact twist, second time. Inhale brings us back to center. When you get there, our next exhale folds us forward. Make that adjustment with the foot if you need to, and then pull it up to that half mountain climber. Foot comes under, knee stays up, three-legged dog with your inhale. Exhale, knee between the elbows, half mountain climber, round two. Inhale presses us up. Place that left down next to the right, downward facing dog. Here comes our low flow, chaturanga, super mindful, super slow and controlled, toes or knees, brings us down, turns the feet over when you hit the bottom, press it up, tense through the core. If you're bringing it into that upward facing dog, keep it tensed as you send those hips up. into our downward facing dog. If you need those knees down for that transition as well, please feel free to leave those knees down as you bring it up to down dog. Knees come down, hips go back, child's pose. Awesome, let's go ahead and sit it up nice and tall. Left foot comes forward. Here comes that squat. Let's bring it up into our chair. Awesome work. Give me a little hold here. One more exhale. Can you go a little deeper into it? Next inhale stands us up tall. Bring those arms down. Awesome. Move right into that other side. Inhale out and up. Exhale, fold us forward. Take it into our chair once again. Sweep the arms up, sink the hips back. Nice work, you guys. Looking good, looking good. Option for spinal twist, palms together, heart center, left elbow towards that right knee this time. You're welcome to keep that spine nice and centered if that's what's better for you this evening. Nice. Next inhale just brings the torso back to center, lengthens those arms. Left leg's gonna go back, whether you choose that slide or that warrior three. Let's take it long. Toes are down, right knee is bent. Again, option for spinal twist. Palms together, heart center, left elbow towards right knee. Option to keep it right in center as well. Nice. Next inhale, back to center, long arms. Exhale, folds us forward. Half mountain climber pulls that foot up underneath. Nice. Three-legged dog, right foot up and back. One more time, just like that. Half mountain climber. Three-legged dog. Right foot goes down to meet the left, downward facing dog. Here comes that low flow. Shoulders float out over those wrists. Toes or knees, lower it down. When you hit the bottom, press it up. Cobra or upward facing dog. If you're in that up dog, make sure that core is tensed. Transition to that downward facing dog. Press those hips up and back. Turn those toes back under. Child's pose, knees come down, hips go back. Nice, let's bring it up to those knees. Step that right foot up. Bring that left to meet, chair pose. Nice, can you give me that exhale? Half a centimeter deeper. Inhale, stands us up tall. Bring those arms down and around. All right, we've got about 5 minutes left. We're gonna keep it moving. Again, option for that quick sip if you need it before we head right back to that first one. We're gonna get this one going just a little faster, so I'm gonna take out those spinal twist options this time. Inhale, takes the arms out and up. Exhale, folds us forward. Chair pose, pulls those arms up, sinks those hips back. Tiny hold here takes us right leg back long into that crescent, whether you transition through warrior three or you slide it back. When you get there, long torso, left knee is bent. Fold it forward, hands surround that foot. Half mountain climber to three-legged dog. Same thing, half mountain climber to three-legged dog. Left foot sits down next to the right, downward facing dog. Shoulders over wrists, toes or knees, chaturanga. Chest comes up, cobra or upward facing dog. Turn the toes over, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Knees come down, hips sit back just briefly, just for this exhale. And then on that inhale, sit it up tall. Left knee comes up into that lunge. Let's bring it to that squat, that chair pose. Inhale stands us up tall. Arms come down. Last time through, just hitting that second side. Inhale out and up. Exhale, folds us forward. Nice work, you guys. Chair pose right into it. Sweep the arms up, sink the hips back. Transitioning, left foot goes back either through that slide or through your warrior three, pressing the foot towards that back wall, toe comes down, right knee is bent, forward fold, hands surround that foot, half mountain climber to three-legged dog. Last time in this half mountain climber to three-legged dog. Fabulous work, you guys. Set the right foot down next to the left. Last time in our low flow, make it your best one. Shoulders over wrists. High to low, elbows stay close. When you hit the bottom, cobra or up dog. Turn the toes over, hips up and back, down dog. Nice work, you guys. Knees come down. Exhale to sink those hips back. Inhale to take us up tall. Final time in this transition, right leg steps up. Let's bring that left to meet it, chair pose. Nice, keep that spine nice and long. Give me one more exhale. Can you get a little deeper into it? Inhale brings us up tall. Exhale circles those arms down and around. Awesome. Give me an inhale, take the arms out and up. Nice, easy lateral stretch. Right hand comes down, left arm comes up over top. Inhale pulls us through center. Exhale to that second side. Inhale brings us back up nice and long to center. Pull those palms together, interlace those fingers as you bring them down to the chest, and then press those palms forward, tucking the chin in towards the chest, round the spine out towards that back wall. Next inhale pulls those palms back up nice and long towards the ceiling. Exhale circles us down and around. You can either press those palms towards each other or interlace behind the back. Inhale opens up through the chest, pulls the shoulder blades together. Exhale releases that. Let's finish with 2 nice deep breaths. Inhale takes us out and up. Exhale brings us down and around. Last time, this time our palms meet overhead. Inhale takes us up. Palms meet. We pull those hands down to heart center. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me on this lovely Wednesday evening. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and a nice weekend. The light in the honors, the light in you. Bowing as we say, namaste.